live? We should be live. Yep. Said
Yep, we're good.
He said we're good. Awesome. Hey, Jim Stevens here with Yakima Hypnosis. And I had done a post earlier. Actually, I'm going to have my videographer tell me if he can see my visual aids here. Is this high enough to get them in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're well in there.
Excellent. And I'd done one about the nail and the hammer and so on and so forth. And I'd made a comment that a real piece of wood would be like legit, right? So what's this all about? Okay, look. The title of the other one was Resistance is Futile, and I was showing why that is. But it occurred to me, and actually I had a very insightful friend today tell me, Jim, you missed something about the nail going in sideways, because I didn't say that before. Well, it wasn't a piece of wood. All right, so here's how it works. Out here is the conscious mind. Down here is the subconscious mind, where all the major programming that we've ever had in our life, most of it got installed by the time we were 8 years old. You know, school, parents, other kids, events, things that when we were that young, we didn't have what's called the critical factor, or the barrier between our conscious behavior out here and the unconscious, all these programs and habits and so on. Well, the protector, the barrier, didn't exist in real great form until we were, 10, 12 years old. All right, so what does that mean? Well, it means through life, as we go along, and think of this as a program, something we would like to install and turn it into something in our life. Well, how do we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. You just keep working on it. Keep tapping and tapping, and as that behavior gets entered into through the barrier and into our subconscious, now we've got muscle memory, we've got nervous memory, we've got habits that have been installed, and we're doing good. Okay, now as my friend was pointing out though, Jim, what happens sometimes, of course, is we start hitting it, and I can't tell how many times I've done this too, by the way, tap, tap with the hammer, and then the nail bends. And it doesn't want to go in straight. Well, what happens then? We have unintended outcomes, like feelings we don't want to have, habits we don't want to have. And that's a whole nother, well, in fact, we're going to end up talking about that, because it does come out the other end. Just the only difference is it's pointing the wrong way. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But problem number one, we're tapping away because I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to join the gym. I'm gonna. Great. Then why is it not too long afterwards, somebody down here, while we're not looking, drove that nail all the way back out? And what did we do? We quit the gym, went ahead and got a bag of Cheetos, and away we go. I'm going to start working my business the way I should. I'm going to start making phone calls. I'm going to start doing whatever it is I need to be doing. Well, in those cases, sometimes in the unconscious area of our mind, we had programs that said, no, we have a big hammer. That's not going to happen. You're afraid of people. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of something. And lo and behold, there you are. Well, that's half of it. Okay, we're going to talk about why is resistance futile if you're using hypnosis and self-hypnosis, that we can teach you how to deal with that. There's one other factor, though, that I didn't put in the other video, and that is big events, big hammer out here, and something happens, and boom, boom, boom. There we are with some kind of PTSD. We've got some kind of phobia, fear, something going on, and bam, there it went. And it was a big hammer that put it in there, meaning a big, powerful emotional event. And here we are with our conscious mind, which, by the way, is about as useful as us trying to pull this out with tweezers. Not going to happen. Willpower is completely useless when it comes to dealing with things like this, or dealing with the big unconscious. No, you're not going to eat right. No, you're not going to stay in the gym. Okay? So here's what we can do with hypnosis. We can go in and say, guess what? If it needs to stay in, we can apply a bigger hammer out here. If it needs to come out, we can apply the bigger hammer and make it come out. If it needs to stay in, we can also take the hammer away, change the programming down here, you change everything. So my friends, that's what it's all about. Having the power to get different hammers. Having the power to make the nail come out if it needs to come out, stay in if it needs to stay in. But I can tell you, well, you already know this. When's the last time you joined a gym and then ended up quitting? When's the last time you went on a diet and it was a great diet, and now you're 10 pounds heavier than when you started? When's the last time you started a business plan? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and lo and behold, life takes over. We can help with that. Thanks very much, guys. I'll have my videographer cut me off at the neck or something here, and see you on the other side.